Hey everybody, this is Game 17 of the Chicago White Sox 1977 season replay. The Sox are finally back home to the friendly confines of Comiskey Park after going on a long 10-game road trip. So they're home for 3 and then they're back on the road again, so they're going to enjoy the home cooking while they can. The opponents in this one is first of a 3-game series against the Texas Rangers. It'll be Steve Stone against Doyle Alexander. And we will go ahead and get going without any further festivities so we can make sure that we're not rushed in this video. Alright, so leading things off for the Rangers will be second baseman Sandy Alomar. He's going to lead things off against Steve Stone. It's normal weather, so let's look at the weather chart, or the ballpark chart. That's one thing I forgot to do. All the other things that was going on, well, I'll wait until I get a roll for that. Alright, so right now Sandy Alomar is going to lead things off against Steve Stone. The Sox are 10-6 and currently on a 2-game losing streak after being swept in Detroit. So they're looking to rebound here. 1-7 for Alomar. Ground ball to first, handled by Spencer. 1 away. So Steve Stone with the first out of the game. Here's Bert Campaneris, Campy. 6'10". 6'10" is a catcher X. Catcher in this case is Jim Essien, and Essien is a 2 E4. 2 E4. 2 and a 4. This could be cumbersome. 2 and a 4 is a W/G, but nobody's on base, so there's no chance of a wild pitch. And there is a 12, and he is an E4. And there is no 12 on the E4, so it's going to be a good play. Let's look at the W/G. I'm assuming it's a little dribbler in front of the plate. Let's see here. Numbers on the batter, squib in front of the plate. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So it's a 2-3 ground out. Gets the speedy Campaneris. That'll bring up Claudell Washington. 1-9 for Washington, struck him out. So Steve Stone likes the home cooking, and so do the Rangers. I'm sorry, so do the White Sox. They take care of the Rangers in fine fashion. Go to the bottom of the first, and it's Doyle Alexander on the bump. Right-hander will be facing leadoff man Ralph Garr. 4-5 against a lefty is a fly to left. Garr is retired. 1 away for Alan Bannister. This game was played April 29th, so we're almost finished the month of April. Once I do that, then I'll print off the cumulative stats so we can see how the Sox are doing after 1 month of play. 1-8's a ground ball to short, and that's 2 down. Brings up George Orta. 1-9, and that's a split chance. 1-15 is a double. Anything else is a single. And that'll be a double for George Orta. Brings up the dangerous Richie Zisk. Nothing on the 20. 4-10. Catcher X. Catcher in this case is Bill Fahey. And Bill Fahey is a 4 E11. 4 and a 3, that's problematic. 4 and a 3 is a W/G, and this is an 8. He's an E11. There is no 8, but we got to look at the W/G with runners on base. W/G with runners on base, the pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. All runs advance 1 base. So how about that? Wild pitch. Wild pitch. Wild pitch. Okay. So the runner goes to third on that wild pitch. Hopefully I did that correctly. Sometimes you have to look at the wild pitch rating on the pitcher to determine if it's a pass ball with the P/F, but I believe on the W/G there's nothing that talks about that. It just talks about regular old wild pitch, so that's what I'm going to play it as, unless somebody tells me different. All right, so order goes to third. Zisk back in the box. Wait a minute, let's see. Was there a, do you finish up the play? That's the other question. Nope, play resumes with the same batter at bat. That's what I thought. Okay, so at 2-11. 2-11 in progress, if you remember the police shows. 2-11, that's going to be a base hit for Richie Zisk. So, speaking of police robbery in progress, the Sox are going to rob a run here thanks to that wild pitch. So, the 2-11, 1-7 is a double. Nope, it's a single, but it's an RBI single. And actually, he would have scored without the wild pitch because it was 2 stars. But the Sox take a 1-0 lead. And that'll bring up Jim Spencer. 1-8 for Spencer is a ground ball to first. That's going to end the inning. And it's 1-0 Sox after 1. So we go to the second. And we're going to have Steve Stone on the bump again, facing Ken Henderson, switch hitter. Henderson is playing right field tonight. 4-7. Stoney 4-7's a line out to first base, so snagged over there by Spencer. 1 away. Here's Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay. As I drop the D20, get that back. 1-4. Foul out to third, so Soderholm snags that in before it goes into the crowd. 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Toby Last Hurrah, or actually it's Toby Hara, but it's spelled like hurrah. 1-3 is a ground ball to first. Spencer will take it himself, and the Rangers haven't gotten the ball to the infield yet. 6 up, 6 down, and all grounders with the exception of 1 foul out. So nothing doing for the Rangers through 2. And now Royal Stillman, the batter. He is the DH, and they were loving them some Royal Stillman early in the season. He didn't last long, obviously, because of the fact he only had 119 at-bats all year, but early on they sure did like him some Royal Stillman. So he's in there at DH. 6-10, he's a lefty. 6-10 is a ground ball to second. Handled by Alomar, 1 away. I'll bring up the third baseman, Eric Soderholm. 1-10 for Soderholm, ground ball to short. Handled by Campaneris. 2 up, 2 down. And that's going to send us to Chet Lemon, center fielder. 3-9 for Lemon. He's going to fly to left. After 2 complete, it's still 1-0 Sox. They're looking to break that 2-game losing streak and enjoy some home cooking. Stone back on the mound, and he's going to be facing the DH in this game, John Ellis, or strange choice for DH. Ellis, catcher, only hit .235 on the season, so not sure why they chose to use him as DH, but they did. See if it pays off. 5-5. Nope, struck him out. 1 away. So that didn't work for the Rangers. Here's the catcher on today's game, Bill Fahey. 2-9 for Fahey. Now that works. 1-15 is a double. 16-20 is a single. And that's a double for Fahey as he gets into scoring position with only 1 out for center fielder Juan Beniquez. There's a 1, chance for a wild pitch. Stone's a 10. So we'll check his wild pitch rating. It's an 8. It is going to be a wild pitch on Steve Stone. So each pitcher now has tossed a wild pitch. So the bat continues. Runner at third is Fahey. 1 out. Infield's going to come in. Try to choke that run off. Nothing on the 20. 3-7. 3-7 is a fly ball center field B. So this is a chance for a sacrifice fly. Consult the rule book once again. The center fielder arm, Chet Lemon, is a 0, so he will have no effect. Fahey, though, doesn't run all that well. His speed rating is only a 9, so chances of him making it may not be all that well. So let's check out what we've got here. Fly ball center field B, question mark. All right, you add 2 to the outfielder. You add the speed, the outfielder's arm plus 2. Safe range. Let's see here, roll 20-sided die. Okay, so his safe range would then be 11. So they're not going to take the chance. That's barely over 50%, so they're just going to hold him up. Benitez flies to center for out number 2. They're going to depend on Sandy Alomar to drive him home from third. He just did not run well enough to try to tag up. 4-12. Alomar's a switch hitter. 4-12. That's a ballpark home run chance. And as I said earlier, let me get the chart for the ballpark. On an average day at Comiskey at night in April, we are looking at a 2 for a home run, lefties and righties. So it's a 1 or a 2, and that will be it. And it's going to be a fly ball to right field to end the inning. So not a good chance for home runs at Comiskey tonight. And that's a fly out to end the inning. So they get a runner to third, but cannot bring him across. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 favor of the White Sox. Here's Jim Essien, the catcher. 4-8 against Alexander. That's a leadoff walk. Could be dangerous. Don't like to have those leadoff walks if you're the defense. Now bring up Ralph Garr. He's a B bunter. They could bunt here. I think they will. They're going to try a sacrifice bunt. They don't do it very often, so we might as well try it just for the heck of it. They're expecting it, so he's a C bunter because the corners are in. So it's a 5 on a C bunter. C bunter and a 5 is a good sacrifice. The white die is a 4, which means it went to the first baseman. So Mike Hargrove fielded it and just tagged Garr coming down the line. So we'll call it sacrifice hit 3 unassisted. And that'll move Essien to second base. So he's in scoring position with 1 out for Alan Bannister. 5-8. 5-8 is a pop-up to second. That's 2 down. Big out there for Alexander. Keeps the runner right where he is. So it's up to George Orta to bring the run home. Orta, a 6-3. And that's a ballpark single check. Now the home runs were 1 or 2, or 1 to 2. Singles in this case are 1 to 9 for both lefties and righties. So I should write that up there. Singles are 9, home runs are 8-2. All right, so need a 9 or less for Orta to get a hit. It's an 8, so he does get the hit. And that's a 1-base advancement. So runners are now at the corners with 2 outs. And it's up to Richie Zisk. We get a 5-7. 5-7 is a ground ball, second base X. That is Alomar. And if you look at Alomar's defensive prowess at second base, he is a 3 E22. 3 and a 7 should get to that. Check the chart. 3 and a 7 is a G3, and this is a 10, so we know he's not going to make an error on a 10. So he does get to it, and that's the end of the inning. So the Sox had a chance to add to the lead, could not come through. We go to the fourth, still 1-0 in favor of the Southside Hitmen. And it's going to be Bert Campaneris to lead things off. 3-3 for Campaneris. He's going to ground back to Steve Stone. 1 away. Good idea to keep Campaneris off the bases if you are Chicago. Here's Claudell Washington. 1-7 as a fly to center. That's 2 away. And it's going to bring up Ken Henderson, switch hitting right fielder. 2-3. 2-3 is a split chance. 1 to 11 is a single. 12 to 20, he lines to second. And it's a single. So it's a 2-out single for Ken Henderson. Brings up the human rain delay, Mike Hargrove. 4-4 against the lefty. He's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Bannister and could be trouble. 4 E48. 4 and a 9. He is a G3, so he will get to that. The question is, can he handle it? It's a 12. E48. Is there a 12? There is, right here in the middle. There's a 12. So that is an E6. Gonna keep the inning going. So Hargrove reaches on the boot by Bannister, and that brings up Toby Harrah. 4-8 against Stone. Struck him out. So Stoney bearing down and getting that out and picking up his teammate, making the error. So trying to pick up Bannister, so he doesn't feel so bad. The error did not really affect anything after all. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0. Doyle Alexander out. He's got a 6 fatigue rating, and Stone has a 7. So they're still both in great shape as far as that goes. Here's Spencer, first baseman, 5'9". Struck him out. So 1 away for Royal Stillman. 3-2 for Stillman, and there's a home run. Look at that. Wow, I've been dogging out Royal Stillman all year, and there he is. 3-2 is a home run. Solid, big bold letters, no ballpark, no nothing. 3-2 home run for Stillman. He hit 3 home runs in 119 at-bats for 361 slugging percentage, but still, you just don't think of him as being one of the hit men, but there he is. Home run, Royal Stillman. 2-0 Sox. Soderholm, 6'9", fly to right. 2 down, and that'll bring up Chet Lemon. Chet Bitter Lemon. 4-9, and that's ground ball to third. That's going to end the inning as Harrah tosses to Hargrove. But the home run by the much maligned Royal Stillman has put the Sox in a 2-0 lead. And Steve Stone certainly not complaining. Go the fifth, and he'll be enjoying that 2-0 lead. He's going to take on the DH, John Ellis, who he struck out his first time. 6-3 is a fly ball left field X. Gar is a 4E4. 4 and a 13, he'll get to that. E4 and a 13. E4 and a 13. There is no 13. There's a 15, but there's no 13. So Gar makes the play. And Ellis is retired. So 1 away for Bill Fahey, catcher. 210. 210 is a double. Solid double for Fahey. He is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. What's up with that? Fahey only hit 221 on the year with 4 doubles in 68 at-bats. He's got 2 of them in 2 at-bats here. Go figure. All right, here's Juan Beniquez. 5-10 is a ballpark single check, which is 1-9. 1-9, and hits a base hit. 1 star, though, so Fahey will stop at third. So runners are at the corners. 1 out for Sandy Alomar. Infield double play depth. 5-7 struck him out. No, I'm sorry, it's against a lefty. 5-7's a walk. Alomar's a switch hitter. If it was a right-hander, it'd be a strikeout. Left-hander, it's a walk. So that's going to load the bases. Almost missed that. I'm sure if I did, somebody would have made me aware, which I appreciate when I do mess up. Somebody makes me aware. All right, here is Campaneris. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Infield still at double play depth. 6-7, and that's a base hit for Campaneris. 1-2 is a double. 3-20 is a single, 2 stars, so we're going to have a tie ball game. And it's a single with 2 stars. So Alomar will go to third. Fahey and Beniquez both score, and we are tied at 2 apiece. So Campy gets the job done. Now let's see. He may be looking to run with second base open. So let's see if he can get a jump here. 2 through 9 or an 11. If he rolls 10 or 12, he is caught. So they're going to go ahead and give it a shot. See if they can't get the lead. 7, he does get the lead, so he starts out as a 15. Stone's a 0 and Essian's a 0. He's being held, so you subtract 2, makes it a 13. So 1 to 13, he'll steal. And he's caught stealing, so he got greedy. Got Got caught stealing 2 to 6. So that's going to make it 2 outs with a runner at third. So perhaps a little bit overzealous there with the Rangers. We're going to try to strike while the iron was hot, I suppose. Here's Claudell Washington. Still a base hit can give him the lead. 1-5, and a 1-11 chance will do that for him. 12 to 20, he grounds to third. It's a 12, so Soderholm just barely got to it and throws to first to retire the side. Keep the lead from getting away from him, or to keep the score tied, I should say, to keep Texas from getting the lead. But 2 runs come on the board, and the Rangers tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. So the Sox work cut out for them to regain the lead they lost. Bottom of the order, Jim Essien. 111 is a ballpark single check. That's 1 to 9. As I knock my dice over again. Done that a lot lately. 1-9, 18 is not going to cut it. It is a liner to short. 1 away. And that'll bring up the leadoff man, Ralph Garr. 1-2 for Garr. That's a ballpark home run chance. It is only a 1 to 2 though. So not a good one. And he's going to fly to left according to this. But actually I'm going to fly him to right because he's a lefty batter. So it's 2 down. Not that it really matters. Here's Bannister. 6-6 for Bannister against Alexander. That's going to be a base hit. 1's a triple. Anything else will be a simple single. And it is a 2-out single by Bannister. It's going to bring up George Orta. Orta with a chance. He's doubled and singled. 1-11, and he's got a chance for a home run, but again, not a good one. Only 1 to 2 to get that done. And he's going to fly to right to end the inning. So the ballpark not helping the Sox this time around, and they leave a man on at the end of 5. It is tied at 2 to 2. Steve Stone back out. Will be facing Ken Henderson, switch hitting right fielder. Henderson is 1 for 2. 3-4, he struck him out. He's now 1 for 3. So struck him out. And there's 1 away for Mike Hargrove. 6-7 for Hargrove. 1 to 10's a double. Anything else will be a single. And that's a double for Hargrove. So yet another double by the Rangers. That's their 3rd double. 2 of them by Fahey. This one by Hargrove. So the lefties are getting to Steve Stone. It's Toby Hara. 2-9 for Hara. Struck him out. So Stoney doing okay against the righties, but the lefties are giving him issues. And that'll bring up John Ellis, the DH, with 2 down and a runner at second. We get a 1-6, and that's a walk. So that'll put 2 on, and the all of a sudden very dangerous Bill Fahey is up. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. So Stone really has to bear down on this one. 5-9, 5-9, fly to center, so he got him. And that's going to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still a 2 to 2 ball game, as Doyle Alexander will now begin his point of weakness inning because he has that 6 rating. So we'll see how long he can last. He's going to be facing Richie Zisk. And Zisk, 1 for 2. 6-2 is a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 2E24. 2E24. 2 and a 2, that's trouble. That's probably going to be a hit. I'm almost guaranteeing it. 2 and a 2, and there's also a 7 there on an E24. So first of all, 2 and a 2 is a single. And then we've got an E24 with a 7. E24, there is no 7, but it is going to be a base hit. Leadoff single for Richie Zisk. Little number that found a hole. And I'll bring up Jim Spencer. 0 for 2 for Spencer. 4-7. 1 is a single. Anything else, he lines to second. And that's a liner to Alomar. 1 away. And the ever-dangerous Royal Stillman, he homered his last time up. 1-5. He's going to strike out this time, so not so dangerous. 2 down, and it's up to Eric Soderholm. Keep the inning going. We get a 1-7, and he grounds to short to end the inning. So 6 innings in the books. Tied at 2. And Steve Stone now will be starting his point of weakness inning, which is the top of the 7th. And he's going to be facing off against the bottom of the order, Juan Beniquez. Although Beniquez did single his last trip up. So certainly a possibility there. For Beniquez, you want to keep him off the bases because he's a pretty good base stealer. 5-6, 5-6, 1-16 is a single. Anything else, he will line to second. That's a base hit for Beniquez. Could be dangerous. He's going to be looking to run. So Beniquez, as long as he doesn't roll 11 or 12, he'll be okay as far as getting the jump. Roll 6, so he got the jump, no problem. 15, and again, so it's a 13. We've already done the calculations on when Campaneris was a 15. So this is a 1 through 13. And he made it this time. So stolen base for Beniquez. Puts him in scoring position with nobody out for Sandy Alomar. And Alomar is an A bunter. They're going to have him bunt and try to get him over to third base. Becomes a B bunter when they're looking for it. That is a 6, which should be a good bunt, I would think. 6 and a B is defense. All right, so now we got to see if we're going to try to get the shore out at first or try to get the speedy runner going to third. And Stone's defense is a 3, not the best in the world. So let's see here. Actually, it'll be the third baseman Soderholm because it's a 6 on the white. They're going to go ahead and just take the shore out because Beniquez, with Soderholm fielding, it's almost impossible to get him over there. So runner at third, 1 out. And here is Bert Campaneris. The infield's going to have to come in. Stoney needs a strikeout. 6-5, and he got it right there, right on cue. 6-5, Stoney with a strikeout. Huge strikeout for Steve Stone. That brings up Claudell Washington. Now here's the caveat. Washington's 0 for 3, but Stoney's been struggling against lefties, so they're going to make a call to the bullpen. As that's going to do it for Steve Stone. He cannot win it. He can possibly lose it. He goes 6 2/3, faces 29 batters. And they're going to bring in the newest lefty on the roster. Just came off the injured list and is on the field. And that's the knuckleballer Wilbur Wood. Wilbur Wood. He didn't start making starts until May, so he can be used in relief. And it's a lefty versus lefty matchup with Claudell Washington. So Stone and Wood. Now it's Wood trying to keep the Rangers at bay. 3-4, Washington against a lefty. 3-4, it's a strikeout. And that's going to end the inning. So Wilbur Wood comes in and does the job and keeps the Sox tied at 2 and gets Stoney off the hook. Stoney is now in a no decision mode, and Wilbur Wood is now the pitcher of record. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Doyle Alexander will be coming out again because he's only given up 1 hit. But before we get to the 7th, it is time for Nancy and Harry as we're back at Comiskey Park.
Everybody! Okay, Nancy! Take me out to the bar. Take me out to the club. Buy me something and some you out of the old ball game. Hey!
All right, so maybe that will inspire the Sox to get a rally going here in the bottom of the 7th. And Rangers do have the bullpen working, with Alexander maybe in trouble here with fatigue. So they've got a lefty, Darryl Knowles, and a righty, Adrian Devine. They're both loosening in the bullpen. Darryl Knowles and Adrian Devine. They are both loosening in the Ranger bullpen. Right now it is Chet Lemon facing Doyle Alexander. 2-11, and that's a strikeout, so one away. So Alexander gets that out of there. Here's Jim Essien. 5-7, 5-7. Ground ball second base X. That is Alomar, and Alomar is a 4E25. I'm sorry, a 3E22. I was looking at first base. 3E22. 3-2, that's going to drop or get through for a base hit for sure. 3-2, and that's a 14 on the error check. 3-2 is a single. His error check is a 22, and that is a 14. 22, there is no 14, so but it is going to be a base hit for Jim Essien. And Tabby is scratching at the door, so I got to pause and let her in. All right, Tabby. Okay, now that Tabby's in, we can get going again. Here's Ralph Garr. Maybe, hopefully she'll stay on the floor and not try to get on the table. All right, we got a 1-5 for Garr, and that's a fly ball to right, 2 down. And that'll send us to Alan Bannister. And Alexander looking to make it through 7 complete. 1-6, it's a walk. So one more notch against Alexander, and he will reach his point of weakness. But with George Order coming up a lefty, they're going to go to the bullpen. They're not going to take any chances. They're going for the lefty, Darryl Knowles. So Alexander is going to be lifted for Darryl Knowles. He goes 6 2/3, just as Steve Stone did. And he faced 29 batters, just as Steve Stone did. So kind of mirror images there, and they both gave up 2 runs. So a lot of like there. All right, so Darryl Knowles, the lefty, is in there to face George Orta. 2 on, 2 out. 6-6 against the lefty. 1-19 is a single. It's only 1 star, though, so even if this goes through for a single, it will not... Ooh, it's 18. He barely got it. So that's going to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded. Bases are now loaded for Richie Zisk. Now, do you let Knowles pitch to Zisk, lefty on righty? Hate to use Knowles just for 1 batter, but you know what? They're going to go ahead and play the percentages, and they're going to bring in Adrian Devine. I guess to not bring him in, to err is human, and to bring in a good relief pitcher is Devine. So they're going to bring in Adrian Devine. And 1 batter faced for Knowles, and he gave up a base hit, so not a good outing there. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Righty on righty, Devine against Zisk. Could be the ball game right here. 3-6, and that's a walk. He's going to walk in the go-ahead run. So Richie Zisk gets an RBI without having to lift his bat. And the Sox take a 3-2 lead. And now the lefty Spencer is on, but they don't have another lefty in the bullpen ready yet. So Spencer, Devine's going to have to pitch to him. 3-5, and he struck him out. So Devine did okay that time, but that two out bases loaded walk puts the Sox ahead 3-2 as we go to the 8th. And Wilbur Wood now stands to be the winner if he can hold on. He's going to be facing Ken Henderson. Switch hitter's going to turn around bat from the right side. 1-5 against the left-handed pitcher is a double. Look at that. Solid double for Ken Henderson. Yet another Texas Ranger double in this game. That'll bring up Hargrove. Now Laren LeGros, the closer for the Sox, is loosening. 5-9, lefty on lefty. 5-9's a fly ball to center. One away. That'll bring up Toby Harrah. Harrah 2-9 against the lefty. Fly ball to right. There's a question mark B, so there's a chance that the runner can go to third. Henderson runs at a 15. Zisk with his arm. Zisk arm is a 0. So we're going to take his run rating to 15, add 2 to that number to make it a 17. So 1 to 17, he makes it. Anything else, he will hold. And it's a 17, so he does make it. Make sure that's correct. I think you do add the 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you do. So he does get to third base. Barely, but he gets there. That's all that matters. So with 2 outs and a runner at third, it is the DH, John Ellis. 2-7 against a lefty, and he's going to, well, look at this. It's a clutch result. He would have flown to center, but with this clutch result, 2-7, that clutch result, runner at third and 2 outs is a clutch. So that's a base hit for John Ellis, and we got a tie ball game. So coming through in the clutch is Ellis. And we are tied at 3. That brings up Bill Fahey. But Fahey doesn't have any hits on his card against lefties. The question is, do they have, they're already using Ellis, their backup catcher, as the DH. But they will go to Sundberg, Jim Sundberg. So they're going to pinch hit for Fahey with Jim Sundberg. So Sundberg is going to come in and take over as the new catcher after he pinch hits. And Wilbur Wood trying to stave off any more runs. 5-9 against a right-hander, struck him out. So Wilbur Wood strikes out Sundberg to end the inning, but the Rangers have tied it. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, tied 3-3. Devine will be coming back out. That's going to be all probably for Wilbur Wood. We'll see how it turns out, because LeGros is ready in the bullpen. And Royal Stillman back out there again. Now Stillman is 1 for 3 with a homer, but I'm going to go ahead and pinch hit for Stillman. We're going to bring in Oscar Gamble. So Oscar Gamble is going to pinch hit for Stillman and stay in the game as the DH. So Oscar Gamble, see what he can do here against Adrian Devine. 5-12, ground ball third base X. That is Toby Harrah. And Toby Harrah at third base is a 3 E16. 3-7, he'll get to that. 10, that's no error on a 10. So it's good play for Toby Harrah. And Gamble is out of there. All right, it brings up Eric Soderholm. Sox need a blast to take the lead. 2-12. He got hit by a pitch. Different kind of blast, as he got blasted right in the shoulder. And Soderholm will reach, taking one for the team. There's Chet Lemon. 5-8. And look at this. Lemon's doing some damage here. 5-8. 1-4 is a double. 5-20 is a single, but 2 stars for both. And it is a single, but it is 2 stars. So Soderholm will go to third. Runners at the corners with only 1 out. And the catcher, Jim Essien, stepping to the plate. Essien, the Rangers looking to turn 2. 2-10. 2-10, not going to happen. That's a 1-7 double. 8-20 is a single with 2 stars. And that's a double. Double with 2 stars. So Essien doubles. That will score Soderholm. And Lemon will motor to third. And now it's 4-3 Sox. And Laren LeGros is definitely about ready to come into the game. And speaking of coming into the game, Devine is out. And Paul Lindblad, another lefty, will be coming in and facing the lefty Gar. So Lindblad is in. Try and shut things off here. Second and third, 1 out, infield in against Ralph Gar. Oops. All right, 4-5, lefty on lefty. 4-5 is a walk, and that's going to load the bases. I guess one good thing it does is set up a force play at any base. And they have the infield in. They're going to choke that runoff. They don't trust the double play necessarily. 410. 410 is a ballpark single check. That's 1 to 9. Or else he's going to line to shortstop. So let's see. 1 to 9 is a single. It's a 10. He just missed it. It's a liner to short for out number 2. So now Lindblad has to get Orta to keep it a 1-run game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 5-9, ground ball shortstop X, that's Campaneris. And Campaneris is a 2 E29. Good range, but high error. 13 will get to that, that's a 6. So an E29, see if there's a 6 at an E29. There is not. So Campaneris makes the play, keeps the score right where it is. But the Sox get that run. Get it back. They gave up in the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Rangers. Sox trying to break that 2-game losing streak. They lead it 4-3. And Laren LeGros, the new pitcher for the Sox, he is their quote-unquote closer, as he had 25 saves on the season. He'll be facing Juan Benitez to start things off. So LeGros looking to hold on. It'll be Benitez, Alomar, and Campaneris. 1-9. 1-9 is a single for Benitez, so danger there, and he's a threat to steal once again because of the good stolen base chances he has. So we'll see if he can get that jump again. It's a 9. He does get the jump, so it's a 13 because it's 15 minus 2. Catcher and pitcher are both 0, so it's a 1-13. And he's stolen it, so Benitez, being a pain in the butt, has stolen 2 bases in a row now. And the tying run is in scoring position for the top of the order, Sandy Alomar, batter. Now, last time he bunted, let's see what they're going to do this time. I think they're going to swing away this time. We'll see. Alomar against LeGros, 6-5 against the lefty. Fly ball left field B, and that's 1 away. Keeps the runner at second. Here's Campaneris. Bert Campaneris. Could they pinch hit for him? I don't know. He is 1 for 4. But if we look at the bench, you do have guys like Bump Wills as a possibility. Also have Dave May and Roy Howell. So let's see who they might want to go to here. If they decide to go that route, can Alomar turn around and play short? Yes, he can. So Bump Wills is going to hit for Campaneris. And if it goes to the bottom of the 9th, Wills will take over at second, and Campy will move, and Alomar will move to short. So Bump Wills, pinch hitting for Campaneris. Big spot. 1 out, runner at second. It's a 1-7, and that's a walk for Bump Wills. It's going to put runners at first and second for Claudell Washington. The only thing it does set up the double play possibility. 2-9. 2-9 is a strikeout, so it's out number 2. LeGros living dangerously, but gets the out. Now it's the switch hitter Ken Henderson, last chance for LeGros. 2-5 is a single, but the clutch is going to get him. Just like it helped him last time, the clutch is going to end it right here, because with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs, clutch takes effect. So the single will be taken away. It is going to be a pop-up to second base. So Henderson fails in the clutch, much like earlier on when I believe it was John Ellis that came through in the clutch. So clutch, whether you like the clutch rule or not, I'm playing with it just because it's in the rules for Super Advanced. So I wanted to try to use every rule available. So clutch that time kept these Rangers from getting that key hit, and the Sox win it and break that 2-game losing streak. They win it by the score of 4-3. Winning pitcher was Wilbur Wood, and that's his first game of the season. He goes to 1-0, and LeGros gets the save. The loss, I believe, goes to Adrian Devine, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is Devine who gave up that hit, that double to Essien. So, yep, Devine is the loser. So, the White Sox say for Texas to lose is human, and for them to win is divine. So that's just what they're going to go with. And so now the Sox improve to 11-6, and they'll move on to Game 18, second game of the homestand, and it'll be the last game in the month of April. And then after that game, we'll do a little statistical recap and see how the Sox are doing after 1 month of play. So that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic and Chicago White Sox 1977 replay. Good to be back in the friendly confines of Wrigley, and the Sox, a nail biter, but they hold on 4-3 over their arch rivals, or one of their division rivals, the Rangers. So until next time, hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.